CRT and Total Soup secrets. A plus CRT and Total Soup setup checklist. What do you need for your setup to be considered as an A plus for your Total Soup and CRT? Now, I'm not gonna talk about you need a breakup structure, you need a breaker, you need a false market share shift, you need a specific pattern to happen in a lower time frame, you need a unicorn model to happen in a 15-minute time frame. Do you really think the market maker give a fuck about the 15-minute time frame? No, they play on the daily and above. Now, to a lot of people, I've seen a lot of videos, right? I'm a student of knowledge, right? I look at other people, right? I try to learn, I try to see what's wrong with this guy and what's wrong with this guy, right? I try to, give my own perspective on things. And when I've been studying CRT and Romeo and many other people, primarily Romeo as my official mentor, these other goofballs I see on social media, they talk about what? For a high probably setup, you need a unicorn model. For a high probably setup, you need a old high. You need a fair value gap above old high or old low. You need an order block above old high or old low. This is why you need to be considered a high probability trade, which is completely false. Some people even say a IVG will be considered a high probability. And they talk about this shit on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute time frame. Now, as I said before, the market maker does not give a fuck about your 1 minute order block. He does not give a fuck about your 1 minute breaker, unicorn model, IVG. They give a fuck about the higher time frame, daily, weekly, 3 month, right? They primarily move the market on a 3 month time frame. That's why you guys see the 3 month time frame is so important, right? As in time based and CRT based, and in other ways, you could go to 6 month time frame, a 12 month time frame, but they are going to be primarily on the price based, which is important also, but in a very it's going to be important on a very higher time frame, right? But keep in mind that a high probability setup isn't fucking built on a 15-minute time frame checklist. Isn't built on a 15-minute breaker block, order block, whatever race, right? It's built based on a higher time frame, which is what we're gonna talk about. Now, real quick, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, join the Telegram link in the description below. And make sure you guys follow all my social media, my IG, my TikTok, whatever, right? Now, let's get straight into it here. This is the fun part of the video. Is what makes your setup a plus? What makes your CRT and Total Soup setups a plus setup? Now, this is gonna be biotical. This is gonna be like a little strange to most of you guys. But it's going to be from a daily level and above. Now, that's why you guys see me always talk about, always look for a daily level and above. Now, right? Now, what I mean by daily level and above, right? You're looking for a daily CRTs, daily pop above, down below, looking for daily breakers, order block, fair value gap, whatever, right? You're looking based on a daily time frame and above. So that could be daily, weekly, monthly, 3 month, right? And your bias for now, keep in mind, I have faced fucking unicorn models so much. I've traded unicorn model for like 6 months, right? Like a while ago, right? I traded for a 6 month time frame on a 15-minute time frame, and I would get fucking butt plugged, right? It's horrendous, right? So you want to avoid that, right? I don't want you guys to go through that, because I thought if I wait for the unicorn model, it's gonna be high probability. I'll go for 1 to 2 and I'll get fucking fucked, right? I excuse my profanity language, right? I'll stop using that. But you can see it's very horrendous. It's so retarded. I thought that I get my probably set up by waiting for a breakup structure, unicorn model, this that. I was like, holy, I'm waiting for this, and I'm just going for 1-2 RR. It doesn't even offer me a 1-2 RR, right? I get stopped out, right? And I wait for the best confirmations, right? Which is the unicorn model. People usually say, which is false, right? The best, quality setup, the highest quality setup is always going to be a total soup, right? That's going to be the best, highest quality setups, right? And for like a lower time frame, for a 15 time frame, your best chance of you winning is going to be, if you're pattern trading, right? Let's say if you're pattern trading, it's going to be a total soup setup. Right? It's always going to be total soup. It's not going to be a fucking unicorn, breaker, multiple one. It's always going to be relying on the total soup. Like, as you guys know, total soup will cause some sort of reaction. When it does cause some sort of reaction, you could profit out of it, right? But we're not here for that. But we're here for what makes your CRT and total soup setup A+. Now, I haven't seen anybody talk about this. That's why I'm talking about it, right? I'm trying to be unique, right? But now, as I said before, your lower time doesn't make it a high probability setup. The thing that makes your setup high probability is going to be daily levels and above. That's the first checklist. Second checklist is going to be, now, I don't know what you guys, some of you guys get this wrong, right? Your daily level and above could be a daily CRT, right? Your daily CRT is considered a key level, right? A CRT is not a fucking, it's not a, just a CRT, it's not just a range. A range is a key level, right? Keep that in mind. A range is a key level. A CRT itself is a key level. Now, in the daily time frame, you can be like, it's daily CRT. There's nothing about it. It didn't tap any order block for a right gap. It regardless reversed, right? Over here, it didn't tap anything, but it regardless reversed because a daily CRT is just a pop above, down below. So you pop above a old high, which is basically a key level, right? So CRTs are basically old highs and old lows, right? So keep that in mind. Your CRTs are your key levels also. When I talk about key levels, I'm not just talking about fair value gap, order block, breaker block, old high, old low. I'm talking about CRT also, right? Now, once we have that, second is you're looking for your higher time frame, like a weekly, monthly, quarterly time frame drawn liquidity, right? Even a 6 month, 12 month, right? Since you're waiting for a daily level and above, you might as well fucking do that, right? You might as well do that. A daily level and above is always going to cause it to be high probability, so you might as well just go fucking analyze a higher time frame. Now, you shouldn't care about the 6 month, 12 month, right? You shouldn't care about that, but you shouldn't even care about the 3 month time frame. You should care about the daily CRT, weekly CRTs, right? And sometimes monthly, right? That's the high. That's the highest. That's the highest I suggest you should go, but you shouldn't really care about it. You should care about daily, weekly, right? But guess what? Those are gonna make you a lot of money, right? Now, he has made me a lot of money. It could definitely make you, right? It could definitely make you a lot of money, right? So wait for that. The second checklist. The third checklist is the second checklist, as I said, is your higher time frame, weekly, monthly, and quarterly. What bias / draw on liquidity. Now, on a daily time frame, keep in mind, you don't want to fucking, you don't want to dump, you don't want to short every pop above or down below on a daily time frame. You don't want to short above and down below every daily CRT. You got to be careful, right? You got to wait for a daily range. Sometimes it could be a daily range right over here, right? What's a good example here? Good example right over here. If you long this daily CRT, you got wrecked. If you long this daily CRT, you got wrecked. If you long this time, you got wrecked because there was a daily range, right? Sweep to the low, sweep to the high, stable low, stable high. Right? So there's a daily range. So you just don't want to, when you're looking for daily lows and above, keep in mind of daily ranges and, other type of, stuff that actually move the market, which daily range is one of the most important. Why? Market makers are always buying low and always selling high, right? They're never buying high, they're never selling low. Keep that in mind. Now, that's now, what's the next checklist? You guys may think, what's the next one? There should be multiple. There should be like 5 checklists, 30 checklists, right? That's all. Right? That's all you need. In a lower time frame, you could enter what the fuck you want. You could enter a model one. You could enter a unicorn model. You can enter a order block above an old high or old low. The total soup. You can enter fake double top, fake double bottom. You can enter a third drive. You can enter whatever the fuck you want, right? It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. The lower time doesn't matter. That you will regardless work out if the high time is correct. Your stop loss does vary. Your permitting system doesn't matter. Your stop loss, your take profit doesn't matter, but your entry model does not matter. So lower time frame, you could do whatever the fuck you want on the higher time frame. Excuse my profanity language. Excuse my, slang language. I'll stop it. I'm sorry. All right. But as you guys know, that's all you care about. The higher time frame. Right now, I didn't give you guys a dirty fucking checklist. Astaghfirullah, I just got it again. I didn't give you guys a 5 checklist, 30 checklist, right? I just gave you 2 checklists, right? Daily levels and above, and you need a weekly, monthly, and quarterly bias. Your main bias can come from the monthly and the quarterly, but weekly does sometimes matter because there could be sometimes weekly CRT, right? So that's all. Daily levels and above, and that's all you need. Now, I didn't tell you guys to go and look for unicorn model in the 15-minute time frame. I didn't tell you guys to look for all these BS that people tell you to look for when considering a high probability setup. That's all you need. Now, check out some chart examples. Chart example right over here, right? Daily level and above, the higher time frame bias overall bearish. Why? There's a monthly CRT downside. We're trying to go down here to draw on liquidity, right? So overall, what are we? We are bearish, right? So a daily level would do it. Boom, did it, right? Now, if you want to but like, how did this one work out so perfectly? While the other ones, it didn't work out. That's what I said. You don't just look for a daily pop-up down below. You gotta be careful about daily ranges. You don't want to buy high. You don't want to sell low. Shh. Okay. Shh. That's one of the biggest problems people have. Okay. Now, you can see right over here, daily level did it. Now, you can see how perfectly this daily level did a perfect, beautiful move to the downside, and there was no reversals against it. It was just a clear push to the downside. This right over here is an actual high probability, right? This push to the downside wasn't high probability. This one wasn't high probability. This wasn't high probability. This right here was high probability. This right over here was a high probability. So you can see how clear, beautiful movement that was. When you're seeing about a high probability setup, it's not about the 15-minute time frame. It's not about what I mean by 15-minute time frame. It's not about the 15-minute time frame price action. It's about a daily, right? Daily and above. Now, if you enter in this specific daily candle or this specific daily candle, let's say you pre-minute both, right? You enter here and here, right? Now, you shouldn't care about the 15-minute time frame range over there. You should care about the daily. Daily looks beautiful, right? Clearly a OTE pushed down to the downside. Second leg of the move. I mean, the OT was over here, but let's say that, right? You see, clear, beautiful move to the downside, right? There was no reversal signs on a daily time frame and above. 15-minute time frame, it may look a little, rash, but higher time frame look beautiful, right? So a high probability setup is always going to occur on the daily time frame above. It's always going to be a daily level and above. It's always going to be your higher time frame bias, the quarterly and the monthly primarily. The weekly, looking for CRTs, no above, no belows. That's what you're looking for. And daily time frame, you're looking for watch markets, there's more kind of prints, right? Now, thanks for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, join the Telegram link in the description below, and make sure you guys follow my IG, which is in the description down below, my TikTok, and I'll see you guys inside the Telegram.